Imagine an 11-year-old boy holding a video game cartridge that could start a war. In a world where imagination and reality collide, young Davy Osborne finds himself living the ultimate spy adventure. Except this time, the bullets are real, and his imaginary friend might be the only thing keeping him alive. When Cloak and Dagger dropped in 1984, it arrived during the height of the Cold War and the golden age of arcade gaming. This was the era of war games and The Last Starfighter, films that explored the intersection of technology,
Said I'd be right there.
gaming, and real-world consequences. It wasn't just another kid's adventure movie. It was a reflection of 1980s anxieties about nuclear secrets and the power of emerging video game technology. With a modest production budget, it went on to earn $9.7 million in the United States, proving that compelling storytelling and genuine performances could resonate with audiences even without blockbuster budgets. In this video, we'll explore how Cloak and Dagger became a forgotten gem of 1980s family filmmaking, a movie that dared to treat children's intelligence seriously while delivering genuine thrills. From its unique video game tie-in to its surprisingly dark PG-rated content, we'll see why this Henry Thomas vehicle deserves recognition as more than just a post-ET curiosity. The film's most innovative element was its integration with an actual Atari video game. The arcade game was under development with the title Agent X when the movie producers and Atari learned of each other's projects and decided to cooperate. This collaboration resulted in one of cinema's earliest true multimedia experiences, where the fictional game became real hardware with limited arcade release. Director Richard Franklin, a protege of Alfred Hitchcock, brought a distinctly Hitchcockian sensibility to the film's visual language. The San Antonio locations, from the Riverwalk chase sequences to the iconic Alamo exterior, create an authentic sense of place that grounds the fantastical elements. The scenes that took place on the Riverwalk and the Japanese sunken gardens were filmed on location, giving the film a documentary-like quality that contrasts beautifully with Davy's fantasy sequences. Franklin's camera work maintains tension throughout, using tight spaces and urban landscapes to create a sense of claustrophobia and paranoia that mirrors classic spy thrillers. Filming presented unique challenges that sparked creative solutions. The production took place in San Antonio, Texas, chosen specifically because it was Henry Thomas's hometown. When the crew attempted to film at the Alamo, they discovered they weren't allowed to shoot inside the historic landmark. Rather than compromise the story, they meticulously recreated the interior, maintaining the film's authentic San Antonio atmosphere while staying within budget constraints. The technical achievement extends beyond locations to the film's sound design and practical effects. The video game sequences blend seamlessly with reality, creating a visual language that helps audiences understand Davy's psychological state. When Jack Flack appears, the lighting and cinematography shift subtly, indicating we're entering the realm of imagination without breaking the film's realistic tone. Behind the scenes, the casting of Dabney Coleman in the dual role of distant father Hal and charismatic spy Jack Flack was a stroke of genius that adds psychological depth to what could have been a simple adventure story. The film was written specifically for Henry Thomas as a follow-up to his success in E.T., with Universal recognizing the need to utilize Thomas's exceptional talent while he was still young. This wasn't just another cash-grab sequel to capitalize on a young star's fame. The technical innovations, from the video game integration to the location shooting, created a unique cinematic experience that bridged the gap between fantasy and reality in ways that few family films have attempted before or since. Cast Henry Thomas delivers a naturalistic, vulnerable performance that grounds the film's more fantastical elements. His portrayal of Davy Osborne, a grieving child using imagination to cope with loss, is both heartbreaking and authentic. Thomas brings genuine emotion to every scene, never falling into the trap of playing cute or precocious. When he witnesses the murder that sets the plot in motion, his terror feels real, because Thomas understands that children can be genuinely frightened without losing their resilience. As Thomas himself said about the experience, the film was pretty exciting and noted that it's got some violence in it. I get to fire a gun. A statement that reveals how seriously the production treated its young star. Dabney Coleman's dual performance as both the emotionally distant military father Hal and the charismatic spy Jack Flack stands as the film's secret weapon. Coleman creates two distinct characters who are essentially the same person, one constrained by grief and responsibility, the other free to be the hero his son desperately needs. As Hal Osborne, Coleman portrays a man struggling with single parenthood after his wife's death, unable to connect with his imaginative son. But as Jack Flack, he transforms into everything Davy wishes his father could be: confident, decisive, and endlessly capable. The genius lies in how Coleman makes both characters feel authentic while highlighting the psychological gap between reality and fantasy. William Forsythe appears in an early role as Morris, the video game store owner who becomes Davy's adult ally. Forsythe brings warmth and authenticity to this crucial supporting character, making Morris feel like a genuine friend rather than a plot device. His belief in Davy's imagination and his tragic fate add emotional weight to the story's escalating danger. Michael Murphy delivers a chilling performance as the film's primary antagonist, bringing unexpected sophistication to what could have been a stock villain role. His portrayal of Dr. Rice demonstrates that evil often wears a respectable face, teaching young audiences that danger doesn't always announce itself with dramatic flourishes. Christina Nigra, as Kim, provides the emotional anchor for Davy's real world, her natural chemistry with Thomas making their friendship believable and their separation genuinely affecting. The supporting cast, including veteran actors John McIntyre and Jeanette Nolan as the deceptively kindly elderly couple, adds layers of paranoia and mistrust that elevate the thriller elements. Their ability to shift from grandparental warmth to menacing threat creates some of the film's most unsettling moments. The river walk chase sequence showcases the ensemble at its best, where Jack Flack guides Davy through increasingly perilous situations. Here, Thomas must react to an imaginary character while Coleman delivers Jack's advice, creating a unique acting challenge that both performers handle flawlessly. The Crossfire Gambit scene serves as the emotional climax, where Davy must choose between his moral compass and Jack's ruthless pragmatism, a moment that forces Thomas to convey complex internal conflict with remarkable maturity. These performances reinforce the film's central theme about processing trauma through imagination, creating characters that feel authentic rather than manufactured for family entertainment. Reception Cloak and Dagger received a 67% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes based on 12 reviews, with an average rating of 5.8 out of 10. Critics initially viewed it as a competent but minor entry in the post-E.T. Henry Thomas catalog. Many reviews focused on its technical merits while overlooking the sophisticated emotional themes running beneath the surface. The film was seen as entertainment primarily for children, with adult audiences dismissing it as another video game cash-in during the arcade boom of the mid-1980s. However, time has been kinder to Cloak and Dagger. Modern viewers approaching the film with fresh eyes have discovered a work that defies easy categorization. What once seemed like simple family fare now reveals itself as a complex meditation on childhood trauma, the processing of grief, and the thin line between imagination and reality. The film has gained appreciation for its willingness to tackle serious themes within a family-friendly framework, something increasingly rare in contemporary cinema. The film's PG rating has become one of its most controversial aspects. Modern audiences are often shocked by the violence and mature themes present in what was marketed as children's entertainment. As one contemporary reviewer noted with amazement, a preteen is grief-stricken over the loss of his mother. He's nearly stabbed, he's shot at, he's knocked out with chloroform, he's put in a car trunk with a dead body, he shoots and kills a guy, all within a PG-rated film. This disconnect between rating and content reflects how dramatically family entertainment standards have shifted since the 1980s. The film represents what critics now recognize as the era of heavy PG movies. Films like Poltergeist, Gremlins, and Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom that pushed boundaries of what was considered appropriate for young audiences. Cloak and Dagger fits perfectly into this category, treating children as capable of handling complex emotions and moral ambiguity. International reception varied significantly from domestic response. European critics were more receptive to the film's darker elements, viewing them as sophisticated rather than inappropriate. French cinema magazines praised Franklin's direction as a worthy successor to Hitchcock's suspense techniques. German reviewers highlighted the psychological complexity of the father-son relationship, recognizing themes that American critics initially missed. The film's reputation suffered from unfortunate timing, releasing during the height of video game moral panic. Parent groups criticized Hollywood for glamorizing arcade culture, viewing the Atari tie-in as corporate manipulation targeting impressionable children. Religious organizations condemned the violence, creating controversy that overshadowed artistic merits and dampened theatrical performance. Retrospective analysis from film scholars has elevated Cloak and Dagger's status considerably. Academic papers now examine its portrayal of childhood psychology and grief processing, while cinema studies programs use it as an example of 1980s family filmmaking evolution. The scholarly consensus recognizes it as an undervalued work that bridges entertainment and genuine emotional exploration. One hidden detail that adds layers to repeat viewings involves the video game elements, which weren't merely product placement, but integral to character development. The cartridge serves as both MacGuffin and metaphor, representing how digital fantasy intersects with harsh reality, a theme that resonates even more powerfully in our current age of virtual experiences and online communities. Legacy Cloak and Dagger helped establish the template for family films that refuse to talk down to their audience, influencing a generation of filmmakers who recognized that children could handle complex emotions and moral ambiguity. Its DNA can be traced through later films like The Goonies, which similarly blended childhood adventure with genuine danger, and more recent entries like Super 8, which borrowed its approach of treating young protagonists as fully realized characters capable of real growth. The film's willingness to explore themes of loss and violence within a family context paved the way for more sophisticated children's entertainment that didn't shy away from difficult subjects. In an era of increasingly sanitized family entertainment, Cloak and Dagger's approach feels remarkably prescient and necessary. Modern family films often avoid genuine conflict or emotional complexity, preferring safe humor and easily digestible messages. By contrast, this 1984 thriller demonstrates that children can engage with serious themes like death, moral compromise, and the blurred lines between fantasy and reality without being traumatized or talked down to. The film's exploration of how digital fantasy intersects with harsh reality resonates even more strongly today as children navigate virtual worlds while facing real-world consequences. The movie's current cultural significance lies partly in its forgotten status and darker tone, which give it authentic cult credibility among film enthusiasts seeking alternatives to contemporary family entertainment. It represents a bygone era when filmmakers trusted young audiences to handle sophisticated storytelling without compromise. The film serves as a fascinating time capsule of 1980s filmmaking philosophy, when the industry was willing to take creative risks with family-oriented content. The video game industry connection adds another layer to its historical importance. Released during the arcade golden age, the film captured the moment when digital entertainment was transitioning from novelty to cultural force. The Atari collaboration wasn't just marketing. It represented Hollywood's first serious attempt to understand gaming as a legitimate storytelling medium. This prescient approach to multimedia entertainment predated the modern era of franchise integration by decades. Director Richard Franklin's Hitchcockian training also deserves recognition for elevating the material beyond typical children's fare. His understanding of suspense and psychological tension transformed what could have been a simple adventure into a genuine thriller that works on multiple levels. The film's structure mirrors classic spy narratives while maintaining accessibility for younger viewers. Perhaps most significantly, Cloak and Dagger arrived at a unique cultural moment when the Cold War paranoia of adult entertainment filtered into children's media, creating a subgenre that has largely disappeared from contemporary cinema. Cloak and Dagger stands as more than mere 1980s nostalgia. It's a sophisticated examination of how children process trauma and loss through imagination. In treating its young protagonist with genuine respect and refusing to provide easy answers, it created a template for family filmmaking that remains unmatched in its emotional honesty. The film proves that respecting your audience's intelligence, regardless of age, creates more powerful and lasting entertainment than playing it safe ever could. What do you think? Has modern family entertainment lost something essential by playing it safe? Or was Cloak and Dagger's approach too intense for its target audience? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this deep dive into forgotten cinema gems, make sure to subscribe for more explorations of the films that shaped movie history.